So yesterday we got a huge announcement from Nintendo, and that was none other than Pokemon Stadium finally coming to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. And this is something that a lot of people like me who grew up in that era, who played Pokemon on the Game Boy but never was able to play it in 3D. This was the first time it ever transitioned into 3D, and a lot of us really spent a lot of time playing this game. We played our Pokemon games on the big TV with a little expansion that plugged into our controller, and this was something that we've been wanting to play for a very long time. And then I realized something. What is the point of this game coming to the online expansion? Now, one of the most important things of Pokemon Stadium and what makes it so awesome back in the day was we were able to take our Pokemon games that we played on our Game Boy, like my Game Boy Pocket that I had for over 20 years now. We used to be able to take our Game Boy games and we used to take our save progress, put it in the expansion that goes into the controller, and we were able to transfer our Pokemon that we trained, that we leveled up, and we were able to play against our friends. And that was the whole fun thing about Pokemon Stadium, was being able to play our Pokemon against our friends in a 3D environment. And I think that's what makes Pokemon Stadium special. And again, you can play your games on the big screen as well. If you had the cartridge, you can plug it in the controller, you can play those games on the big screen. So it was a fun way to play Pokemon back in the day, but now it looks like Nintendo isn't really gonna care about the expansion part of the Pokemon Stadium, which I think is a huge letdown when you look at it, because I feel like there's a missed opportunity. You have the Game Boy section and the Game Boy Color section on your online service. I'm not asking for every Pokemon game on there, but I felt like it's a missed opportunity that you didn't put at least Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue on the Game Boy service, and then have something where you can connect it into the Pokemon Stadium. It would bring in a lot more subscribers, I think, because the expansion is a completely different thing than the regular base online Switch, which costs like 20 bucks a year. Is not a whole lot, but if you release those games on there, and if you even charge like a premium for them, I'm perfectly fine with that. But we were able to play our Pokemon games, and then a lot of people who don't have subscription to the expansion would sign up for the expansion just so they can carry their progress along through the Pokemon Stadium. So I think this is another failed attempt from Nintendo. Nintendo, I feel like, always have these half-baked ideas, right? Like they have the Nintendo Switch Online, but there's no message system, no voice chat system. It's a bare bones system. If you want to communicate with your friends, you have to have like this weird app. Like, we don't live in a world where Discord is a thing. And I think this is just another half-baked idea from Nintendo. What's the point of having Pokemon Stadium if you don't have the Pokemon games to go with Pokemon Stadium? Yes, you can play the game without having the Game Boy games, but it's not the same. It doesn't have that sense of connection where you're transferring your Pokemon, the things that you've done and you're able to do in order to play in Pokemon Stadium. Yes, it's awesome that we're getting an online feature. That's great. But again, if we don't have our Pokemon to challenge our friends, then what's really the point of that? The point is being able to show, hey, this is my Pokemon. I trained this Pokemon. I caught this Pokemon, and I want to battle my friend, and I want to show him that I am a better Pokemon trainer than they are. But you can't do that because you're missing a key feature that was advertised with Pokemon Stadium. You are missing because Nintendo has not released the Pokemon original first-gen games on the Game Boy part, and without those, you're really getting half a game, in my opinion. Pokemon Stadium is half a game without that feature in it, and that's sad. I really love Nintendo. Like, look at all my Nintendo Switch games behind me. Like, I love Nintendo. I'm a Nintendo kid, but at the same time, Nintendo comes up with these ideas and they just don't really fulfill the ideas the right way, right? Yes, it's great to have Pokemon Stadium on here, but give us the first games first. Give us Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue. Let us play those for about 2-3 months, then release Pokemon Stadium, and then I guarantee People that aren't signed up for your expansion will sign up for your expansion just to be able to play Pokemon Stadium the way it's meant to be. But again, Nintendo does these ideas where they don't follow through to the best of their ability. There's so many opportunities for Nintendo to really push their stuff and push their hardware and push their online feature to the next level, and they always come up short because they're just not looking at the bigger picture. They're looking at Pokemon and they're like, well, that's too big of an IP to put on here for just $20 a month. Okay, that's fine. If you want to increase your online service, that's absolutely fine. But you're the ones that decided not to sell these old games individually on your eShop. You're the one that decided to do this online service. If you would have just followed the normal model of, hey, we're charging for online, you have voice chat, you have a friend ID, you have messaging system, and then you want to charge, like, buy these games separate, that's fine. But you're the one that wanted to lock these games under this paywall, and now you're thinking like, well, our subscription service, it doesn't cost as much as Pokemon is worth. And now we're getting a half-baked Pokemon Stadium because of that way of thinking. Nintendo, I don't understand why we don't have a gamer ID, a gamer tag. PlayStation and Xbox has been doing it for decades now, yet Nintendo still has this weird friend code and you can't communicate. Like, oh my god, I have a friend that's online, I wonder if they want to play Mario Kart with me. I have to call this person instead of just messaging this person on the service that I am paying for. But once again, Nintendo drops the ball, absolutely drops the ball with Pokemon Stadium by not releasing the previous gen Pokemon games that go alongside as a companion piece to their newest game that they want to release on expansion. Now, I think the expansion and the Nintendo Online service, when it comes in terms of content, I really like it. Right? I don't want to have to hook up my Nintendo or Super Nintendo to play old school retro games. They have a very good library on there, and I enjoy it for the price point. But there's always room to expand. And I'm not having the Game Boy game. The Game Boy games that are important to Pokemon Stadium is a massive, massive opportunity loss. But I want to know what you guys think. Leave your comments in the comment box below. Smash that like and subscribe button. And until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms, and that is my opinion.